And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Crypto Bull. In today's episode, sorry over there. In today's episode, I will be doing a technical analysis of the cryptocurrency project called Kin. Now, before I start, I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to take a quick peek on how the market is performing. Why? Well, by reason, I'm always doing a small technical analysis of the project itself, its value throughout time. And well, if I'm going to zoom in on its current trading value, well, it's best to know how the market is performing now. As you guys can see, I refreshed it 2 times, third time now. Market is, well, bloody red, I'm going to say, with a few exceptions. So we will need to take that into account. I'm going to take a zoom in on Bitcoin to get a fainter idea. So has been a major sell-off. There is bullish sentiment on the 7-day range. So technically, that's something I need to keep in mind when doing the analysis. So without further ado, let us begin. Kin. Ranked by market cap on 405th place. Low cap coin, from what I can see here. Market cap about 130 million, 24 trading volume about 8 million. Trading volume is actually quite low when compared to its total market cap. Circulating supply, how much is it? 1,670,664,000,000 coins, and that's about 10 trillion coins, so about 1/10 has been mined. That's a lot of coins. On the one hand, I'm going to say it's always nice to see that there's a hard maximum cap on a cryptocurrency project. However, starting from a certain level, and I'm really talking about several billion, well, it kind of becomes a moot point, and it becomes better, well, to say there's no hard cap. It's an unlimited amount, and burning mechanisms to be implemented. But yeah, it's quite high, nothing more to say. Let's take a looky here. Contract info, that's Solana, if I'm not mistaken. Website, kin.org. I see an immediate link towards the white paper. That's actually some good news. Medium article. Explorers, Solana. As expected, meaning this isn't a real coin, but moreover a token. There's an important difference there. I'm going to repeat it. I mentioned it in other episodes also. Difference between coin and token. Coin is the actual holder of value. Token, on the other hand, is a placeholder for value. The difference in definition is quite important. To exemplify, if you are holding a gold coin, it has certain amount of weight, a certain amount percentage of gold inside of it. That's the actual value you are holding. Traditional money, as we know it, can be considered as tokens. For example, if our money was based on the gold standard, meaning, well, the euros with which I pay will reflect a certain part of the gold being amassed somewhere and backing the, well, token or the money itself. That's the difference between coin and token. So just remind, this is a token placeholder for value. It is built on the Solana network. Ledger, wallets on the losing my grip here. Wallets, Ledger wallet, community, Reddit, Twitter, Telegram. Not all too many communities here. I'm going to quickly open up CoinMarketCap. It's something I now regularly do by reason. It has come to my attention. Certain websites, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, sometimes share different kinds of information. One is more updated than the other. I want to make sure that I can cover all bases here. Chain capital portfolio, that's the tax. So as I can tell, the tax here are more, there are more tax. Simply put, community chat, let's see. 3 communities here, okay, and also the white paper available. Let's get back here. Tags, Solana ecosystem, communication, the API identification is also available. What I'm missing here is a direct link towards the GitHub code. However, from what I could tell, source code is available here on CoinMarketCap, which is a good sign. It fills my mind with a little bit more trust, meaning, well, as soon as you've got the GitHub or source code available, you can do a more intense technical analysis. Just keeping that in mind. For later on, I didn't mention here CoinGecko. That's one of the reasons why I'm now swapping between CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Let's continue. So small technical analysis here. So that's on the 24-hour trading volume. Zooming out, this is its performance to date. Has been listed on October 22nd of 2017. It had the bull run, well, last bull run with it. Before it will flatlined. Little peak here. That's one of the first tops that has been made this year, April, May approximately. Second top somewhere in August. That's odd. There was a little bit of an accumulation phase here. Well, if you follow the traditional Bitcoin market a little bit, but it seems here it did quite well and is on the uptick. So at overall, well, it's relatively stable. Now, to exemplify here, in, well, certain group chats, I've made mention, watch out for hype curves or bull curves. Why the warning? Well, there are a lot of coins and tokens being incepted during bull runs. It's the entire rage. Many developers jump on it because there's money to be earned. And you get the so-called hype curves, which is, well, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, which is exactly something like this. So with this one, okay, it started to calm, but you've got a tremendous amount of hype, a lot of investors investing in the project before it comes crashing down and almost flatlining, almost seeming as if it is a dead project. Now, with this one, I can clearly see there's some volatility on the long run and some major movement, meaning it's still in active development. But always watch out for those hype curves. It can be the case it looks something like this, or resembles a little bit more like this, so that you have a high peak before it crashes down. So be wary of it. Now, this is a hype curve, so I'm going to say I'm not taking into account up until November 2018, really starting here January 2019. And from what I can tell, it is in an uptick. Let's start zooming in on the yearly. Average trend is actually upward. If I were to draw a line, well, currently it's more or less stable, but I see some bullish uptrend, and now there's a little bit of undervaluation. Naturally, there's a high peak here because it still follows the market. I dare say these are more or less exceptions to the cause. By reason, well, the market was performing quite well, and regarding its quite low market cap here, as seen on screen, well, it shouldn't come as a surprise. It will have some weird tops and bottoms, so nothing to worry about, but seems quite neutral. Very slow growth here. If I'm looking at the half a year curves, zooming in on 3 months, lots of volatility. So this one actually looks quite good for trading. And even this on the month, it's a little bit in decline, 14 days, local peak, crashes down again, but like the rest of the market is actually stabilizing. 7-day in decline. This compared to what I said earlier with Bitcoin and its market trends at the moment, where there's a general uptick up here, seems to be crashing down, but seems to have bottomed somewhat, and a resistance level here at 0.00008. So anything underneath will probably be a buy. But I suspect if I'm looking here, it's bottoming out. The graphs themselves do not look all too good. It seems the major hype is done. However, what I can tell, this is going to be its current true value. Do notice that I take the words true value in mouth by reason, well, not much volatility here, and there seems to be a nice level of support here. So keep that in mind. Might be a good time to buy in. 1 hour, well, these are the gains to be made. Sorry, guys, having difficulties today. Might slow down a little bit with my talk. On the yearly, well, nice increase. This one interests me more. The markets where it's available: Gate.io, MEXC, FTX, KuCoin, and IndoDAX. From what I can tell, most of these are centralized exchanges. I'm more or less happy to see it's not all limited towards decentralized exchanges. By reason, well, if a coin or token is mostly traded on decentralized exchanges, the risk exists, well, it underlines more or less that a rug pull is quite possible. By reason, many scammers online will only make their coins and tokens available for rug pulls on DeFi. By reason, it hinders a little bit the research for people like me, for investors, etc., to do. Well, to have a trace where all their money has been gone to when they pull it. With centralized exchanges, the security is, well, slightly higher, and they actually demand KYC, so know your customer base, so developers, etc. So this actually gains a good amount of trust to me. Continue. What is it about? I'm going to switch back over here. By reason, I saw a lot of tags, and I want to make an estimated guess based on the tags. Category: smart contracts, Polychain Capital Portfolio, Galaxy Digital Portfolio, Pantera Capital Portfolio. Okay, so probably has something to do with moving money. Industry: media, content creation, and Web 3.0. Okay, so probably development app if I'm looking here. Solana ecosystem. Medium of exchange: loyalty, e-commerce, mobile, social token, social money, mobile payment, play to earn. That's quite a lot of tags which do not make immediately clear what it is about. Web 3.0 well might be a tag being used to, well, attract investors and have it, well, the necessary amount of spread and renown so that people can more easily research it. But loyalty, e-commerce, I have no clue what this one's going to be about. So let's read up. Price today, blah, 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 blah. 10 trillion. If you are looking to buy or sell Kin, Gate.io is okay. Is money for the digital world. Okay. It's an open micro-transaction platform used by millions of users across more than 50 consumer applications and services, making Kin the most used cryptocurrency by mainstream customers. Kin can be sent anywhere in the world, instantly and for free. So basically, I'll have to consider it as an alternative to Nano, probably. So digital money, digital currency. That's what I'm getting here from this line. Okay. Kin enters circulation via the Kin Rewards engine, KRE, which rewards developers for getting their consumers to use Kin. Today, people are using Kin to purchase a variety of digital goods and services and to support content creators. This one actually makes me reminiscent of Bitcoin Cash. Not necessarily in a good way. Anyway, and I believe one of the very first videos I did for Crypto Bull was Bitcoin Silver. They had more or less the same use case, and well, Bitcoin Silver was actually a dead project. So it started off well, also gave put itself out as digital money, but well, it crashed and burned. Anyway, let's continue. This offers developers a new business model that rewards the adoption of engaging experience and free exchange of value between users, not harvesting their data and attention. That means users and developers are finally realigned around a new economy in which those who generate value online are the focus, not big data monopolies. I'm going to say not a unique use case, if I'm reading this one correctly. We'll look more into it soon on their official website. Like I mentioned, top of my head, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Silver, Nano, these three were mentioned and have approximately the same use case. So I hope there's something that will make it stand out more. Perhaps some new things that aren't around with the others. But let's see and discover. As you know, guys, I do no beforehand research here. The only pre-research I do is looking up their Twitter account to tag the community and say, look guys, I'm doing a live stream here. You guys are invited to post questions, etc. Anyway, let's continue. Skin, their official website. I'm going to reload it. It's important to have a fast-loading website. By reason, it attracts investors, and it means there's active development and marketing behind the project itself. Reason thereof, quite simple. Well, yeah. At loss for words here. Well, the reason thereof is quite simple. Slow-loading websites generally indicate bad designing from the developers or the team itself, and increasing likelihood it is a scam. Let's continue. New way to engage, grow, and create new experience for digital media applications. Integrate built-in functionality, programmability. When you implement Skin, you initial user experience with new possibilities. Okay, so some tags. Engage. Those are apps, it seems. What is it? Summers. That seems to be some kind of Instagram thingies. In ecosystem grows. It's on Rave. So it's for tipping in the digital world on social media applications or applications being made on the Kin network. If possible, we'll soon find out. Monthly active spenders, MES, with at least one spent over the last 30 days. You have to be Desert Escape Talk. So those are users. Okay. A few million here. Oh, it's interactive. Okay. User adopting and values being created. Okay. Luke Hendricks, founder of Kinfit. So that's an app developer here. To build on a blockchain and make the currency more valuable, which is equivalent to Bitcoin's mining. So on one hand, it's an application, a decentralized application development platform built on the Solana blockchain, and whereby Kin, I'm going off here on a suspicion, is going to be the governance token, but also the token to tip developers and the various users making use of the built applications and those on the network. It's basically what I'm seeing here. Developers. Let's take a look here. Yeah, sometimes I'm watching to this side here. By reason, I've got a second computer open up in case there are questions that I can immediately answer on. What of Kin for developers? So get started. I'm not a developer. I'm an investor and someone doing analysis, so I'm not going to get all too deep. Building with Kin, strong economy befits all developers in the ecosystem. So introductory video, not going to open it up. Apps in the Kin ecosystem include Kik Messenger. So that's, I believe I've encountered that one. Madlibs, that's probably audio-based. Perfect 365. You know what that one is? And Rave. Click them open. Fire, Blog Games, Just Joking, Madlibs, Kik, Playtoshi, Rave, Pop-In. Well, I'm going to be honest. A few of them I encountered in the Google store, in the Android store. I believe Fire I once encountered or saw some advert popping up. Kik I know. Madlibs I've also seen popping up, and Rave is something I also encountered. So, and the fact that I've encountered them means probably they are quite popular. Foundation. When I integrate Kin, I'll reward quickly with Kin rewards engine. It's an open source community driven set of algorithms and I know that are relative to the number of active users an app has and the total balance of Kin they hold. So you've got payout values, so I'm going to assume it has something to do with staking, that it's proof of stake based, or, a variation on it. These are examples, so joking, messaging, Kin, that's the network, and here they show a variety of possibilities. So you've got a network at its center, the e-commerce, the gaming platforms, virtual goods, education, knowledge, blah, 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 blah. So that's clear enough to me. Free to integrate into any app that follows these guidelines, client side, blah, blah, so server side, Python node Go, Node.js. It's a little thingy here. Okay, capitalist fund. Going to open these up. Okay, so how to get started. That's mainly for developers. I'm not going to get all too deep into it, as this would exceed the time limit I've set myself up for. Doing the analysis, that's a catalyst fund. What is it? Qualified teams and individuals that can successfully bring meaningful contributions of any sort to the Keen ecosystem. Grants are awarded based on the achievement of measurable milestones where applicable. So you can apply for having, well, funds, actually. For users of apps, same here if you start an application. Same here, so you can apply for, well, funding. Okay. Make a main site and oh. Okay, I'm going to close that one. I thought it was the white paper. Let's see here. Keen apps we did by Keen with Ramp. There's the block explorer. Always a good thing. I'm going to open it up just to see the activity a little bit. You guys can draw your own conclusions when seeing this. 24-hour trading volume 8.6 seconds. Some healthy activity going on here. Transfers. Instructions, distribution. Fetch largest accounts. Try again. Okay. Metadata. Okay. That's that. Not going to get all too deep into it. Ramp, that's where you can buy it. You put yourself in the country of your origin. For 100 you get about, is that 12 million? No, 1,260,322 kin. Okay. You can buy and sell it on Ramp. Okay. Good to know. More on that on the other one I clicked away. Kin wallet, support ending, token migration. Let's migrate to the Solana blockchain to scale for mass adoption. Here's what you need to know. So it was incepted as an ERC20 token and moved away from the Ethereum blockchain. On that account, I dare say, good move. Reason, well, Ethereum is being plagued by tremendous gas and transaction fees, so that's a good move. And Solana is actually, no, so there's a few generations which has paused for generation running on Ethereum. Then on Stella, both are non-mainnet, and their mainnet is online on Solana. Okay, that's actually good news. Trust Wallet, so that's some news on the migration. If you are invested into Kin but want to know what happened to it, I suggest reading up here on the kin.org token migration article. Seeing in pure discovery, there's not much information that I can draw from here. Much one, okay, so it's quite recent. Well, recent, beginning of this year. Kin on Solana, ending support for my Kin wallet. Okay, so their own wallet support has ended. Standard, okay. Only ledger users, okay. That's also some important news. That's actually very big, important news. So it's nice I'm showing this one here. So if there are people from the Kin community following this before the December 31st of next year, take this in mind. Keep it decently in mind. That's some good news for you guys. Well, bad news, but just plan ahead. You've still got slightly more than 1 year of time. Okay, it's the main website. Kin rewards engine status. I believe we had this one. Yeah. Oh, Okay, so here are some stats. This page is on construction. Okay, so spenders, earners, and the amount of earners seems to be in decline here. Active user balances, but the balances are increasing. That's always nice to see. It implies there's mass adoption despite less and less earners. So if I were to combine these two and give you an educated guess, I'm going to say less and less earners, more and more people actually amassing the coins and investing in the project by buying it up. In a certain sense, that's good news. The bad news naturally is that the project becomes more akin to speculation and more volatility can be seen on the long term and not immediate stability. So watch out. Medium later. Blog. Opening it up. Up here, I'm looking mostly on the dates and I see regular updates a few times per month. That's good to see here. Nothing more I want to add here. Bounty ID about kin. Here we go. Kin Foundation, transparency report, branding. Love seeing transparency report. I'm going to see what it is all about, but generally indicates an audit has occurred, equaling to a heightened amount of trust from my part. So once again, this is a little bit the rundown on how it functions. Okay. Ecosystem governance structure, board of directors. So there's a foundation behind it. Bad news here. Call me a Bitcoin maximalist or even a crypto maximalist on that account. But the second I'm seeing foundation, it implies there's a centralized authority behind it. Is it good? Is it bad? For certain applications, well, it's good there's a foundation behind the project in order to steer it. Mostly more or less a fan of foundation structures when dealing with, well, certain platforms for app development, mostly oriented towards businesses. Naturally, where it concerns cryptocurrency, I've always been a fan of something being as decentralized as possible. However, for this one, I dare say foundation isn't a bad idea, isn't necessarily a red flag. Why? Well, in this case, seeing it's a development app for a variety of decentralized applications, a foundation is needed in order to, well, have a certain overview of the project, seeing everything falls in line, etc., etc. So for this one, it's needed. Not a red flag. It's actually more or less good, but yeah, me, I'm getting a little bit nervous when seeing it. Meaning, well, if you have a central structure, it means censorship can be possible and the necessary adjustments can be made to, well, implement censorship or, what do you say, implement a certain will. So always watch out with it. Browsing content consists of two members that Livingston, blah, blah, blah. Representatives, Community Council. It has been listed since 2017, but many of its organizational structures seems to be incepted somewhere 2020. So quite recent. Yeah, raises a little bit of doubt here, but you never know. It's a foundational structure. I'm going to keep it at that. That's the transparency report. Nation mandate, governance, board of directors, allocation of kin reserves, so the reserves where it's being held, allocation of reserves, ecosystem, developers, kin community. So it's an entire report. I'm going to skip a little bit through it. Those are the grants we have seen. Actually, if I had opened this paper earlier up, I might have done anything I've done before. Well, it contains everything I've said here before, but grants, etc., token distribution, so the tokenomics. Pre-sale, public sale. Bad news, guys. If you guys are going to be introduced on the US market, indicating this one pre-sale plus public sale means you might be seen as a security, meaning taxes can be leveraged. 10 trillion kin in total, 3 trillion kin Kick Interactive being held by them. It's not necessarily more than half, but keep in mind that's a decent amount, and well, manipulation can occur. Well, they say I do not like too much the view of this one. Naturally, you guys can say, yeah, it's a kin foundation, but it consists of community members. I am wary. Especially, well, this opens up for me interpretation. This is being held by the foundation and by kin itself, by the network itself, not by community members. Community members only have this 1.45, so the majority is actually in hands of kin itself. Naturally, applying for grants, etc. I can understand the why and how, but if I were to see something like this in a newly created coin or token, I immediately close the live stream and say obvious rug pull. However, this one's been around since 2017, incepted. That's quite some years behind it, and well, no obvious rug pull, and it seems to be a genuine project. So on that account, I dare say, okay, nice. However, I'm getting the vibes of XRP here, of Ripple, meaning, well, they also have quite a lot in circulation, but the majority of their tokens held, well, is within the foundation, and they can easily rug pull or manipulate prices. So do watch out with this one. I know that's bad news, and probably community will try to shoot me from these words, but that's a genuine warning. So keep it in mind, and actually this is something which makes me not invest in the project first place already, but do so at your own risk if you really are, how to say, convinced of the project itself and its built up and its future potential. Because on that account, I dare say it's actually quite interesting, and I say and even state that its future potential looks quite good. Anyway, let's continue. Foundation investing, reserve, annual, to be determined, okay. Budget process. Now, it's actually also written in a report, so there's a certain amount of trust and credit I'm going to give these guys. Meaning, well, if this were written in the white paper, or this here, the distribution of kin written in the white paper, I'd say, okay, there's still a valid amount of trust, but yeah, it's still a red flag. But you guys catch my drift. It's a little bit of a gray zone, a little mixed bag. But I will make my summary later on and say what I think about this project. Developers, Rave, Kick, so the same applications returning here. Tiny, Kinfit, Flyweight, Supermax, Community, Foundation. Okay, I'm going to close this one. Branding. So that's the icon. Okay. What I'm trying to find here are developers, but there seems to be quite a lot of developers going on here. About us, careers, contact us, terms and conditions. I do not seem to find team members. Okay, I've had the CEO of the project, but not necessarily a nice overview of people involved. Why I always prefer to do a backup check of the people involved, what their background is, etc., etc., etc. Not immediately available here. Probably if I search a little bit deeper. Naturally, you guys can say, okay, I'm going to use this one here for the social media. Look up, okay, bounties. Okay, I can't seem to find quite a lot. Medium here is updated. which is a very good sign. By reason, I've known scam projects and obvious root pools who opened up a Medium account but immediately got pulled by Medium, stating, well, might be a rug pull, we're not going to support the articles put out here. Seeing this one, I wanted to say quite up to date, but this isn't really the case. Last one, January 11th. No, it's a little bit, I'm not going to say obsolete, but dated. Needs to be updated more. Anyway, seeing this one still up, the Medium article and website implies, well, a heightened amount of trust, though it's slightly lessened by reason, well, it isn't kept up to date. So, okay. Let's continue. I'm going to visit the communities. Now, as you guys could see, I only saw Reddit, Twitter, Telegram, but seeing here, there's a lot more. So I'm opening up Reddit, Twitter, Telegram I can open, not going to do so. YouTube, Facebook. I'm not going to open up Discord by reason it probably needs to update as I'm quite bad at it. Let's check up Reddit. Want to see memes and quite some activity. Pinned by moderators. Cryptocurrency platform, okay. Trading competition at KuCoin. Okay. Nothing of the past. It's promoted. Community Council, daily King Price and Trade discussion from August, but latest post. Voices see the lead hook, and that's for November. There you go. There you go. I see some decent activity here, but not much community interaction. 3 days ago, buy the dip. Okay, that's a little meme. Lots of discussion, lot of talk. Okay, from time to time there seems to be a meme being posted, which I kind of like. Yeah, memes generally tend to be a nice indicator of activity of the community. There are a few, but most seems to be discussions, etc. So quite dry cut. Community needs to grow. Anyway, help King gives away by creatures, blah blah blah. King Facebook group, okay. King millionaire, so some shilling going on. Well, the same things tend to reoccur, so I'm going to close this one up. Reddit is still active, but I'm lacking a little bit here of community interaction. Followed by one of my followers, well, someone I did an interview with. I'm going to check out, these are the amount of followers. I want to see if it checks out with posts made. 66. Nope. Is there a genuine post they made? 101, 20 hours ago. So there seems to be a lot of followers, but not much interaction here. Probably people having lost interest in the project. I'm going to quickly check up if there are a lot of bots here. 2 dead accounts. Scroll down a little bit. Go. Well, quite some active accounts here. So I dare say people probably having lost interest in the project, but keeping very loose tabs on it, which explains a little bit the low interaction rate. Now, what I want to see on Twitter is community interaction, so retweets, reposts, etc. That one seems to check out. Recap, okay, so some people commenting, retweet, that's King community, it seems. Oh, that one looks quite small. Ecosystem. Okay. Coin. Ecosystem. It's an actual post of them. Retweet. Some spaces they've made. Mark Salzman. Influencer. Blah. So yeah, there's some good interaction here. Quite recent even. with the community on Twitter. So probably if you want to reach out to the community, best through Twitter.
Engaging.
Oh, videos. Let's just see. Yeah, the videos are quite irregular. Ted Livingston, so that's one of the founders. 3 years ago, board of directors. If I'm not mistaken, I saw his name pop up, so might not be as big as I think it was. But yeah, you can look through it. Blockchain Academy, King Cloud product. Ask me anything. So yeah, YouTube isn't as active here, but I see LinkedIn here. Like I said, I do this thoroughly. LinkedIn profile, okay. Here we go. Let's close it. Facebook. In the last couple of episodes, I'm seeing more and more things popping up here on Facebook being kept in decent order. That's up, newsletter, mostly newsletter and updates. Okay. Well, that's going to be a wrap up here. I'm going to close it down. There we go. Oh, that's for later on. And stop sharing screen. So, my summary, synopsis of the project. First things first, looks trustworthy to me. There are a few hiccups, few red flags, which gave me a little bit of Ripple, how to say, vibes, meaning with their token distribution, makes it slightly less trustful in my opinion, by reason well the foundation tends to keep a good measure of the amount of the 10 trillion coins that are available. However, regarding their run and regarding that they exist for quite some time and no rug pull or scam has been pulled, makes me slightly more trustful. Their source code is available, which is a good sign. There's also an audit report available, though it is self-audited, so I won't be giving 100% credit to these guys yet. To me, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Should I invest in it, yes or no? My answer is going to be no. Not because it's a bad project in itself, not because it is bad. The simple reason is I've seen others alike and actually doing much better, having had more popularity. There's nothing really exceptional which draws me over the line where I can state and say that's a very good one. However, the build-up seems to be quite nice. It's open in what it does. It is open in what it represents. This can actually be one of those hidden gems that I'm probably leaving on the side. Myself, I haven't got any interest in kin after doing this investigation here. Not something I would jump in, though I might say future-wise it can be something that can become quite interesting here, especially when we are heading towards Web 3.0, metaverses, etc. This can be one of those things that future-wise might have a sudden explosion if further development and if more, community interaction is present. And with more community interaction present, I'd want to say if more people take an interest in the project and actively help support it. So yeah, that's a little bit my synopsis of the project. So to put it in even shorter words, it is okay in my book, though it isn't immediately something I'm going to jump in. So with that, I want to conclude this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If there are certain comments or things that I've missed, feel free to comment in the box down below. If I need to do a rectification for something I misrepresented or I made a wrong conclusion, please do so. I generally tend to respond quite quickly. And, I'm not an influencer like some others who will say, no, that's the truth, and I'm going to ignore you. No, I'm always open for feedback. So thank you guys once again for watching, and up until next time.